What's going on, guys? I'm Icy Rhythms, and this is my review for Left 4 Dead 2.
Say Bill's an idiot in Japanese.
Reloading. I'm reloading.
I don't know about you guys, but I can remember when Left 4 Dead 2 was originally announced. Die-hard Valve fans, die-hard Left 4 Dead fans were not happy that this game was announced so quickly after the original game released. And I'll be honest, I understood that frustration. Like, what was Valve doing here? Trying to get one over on us? A lot of people felt that way. Thankfully, the game came out, was extremely well received by critics, the community, and every bit as good as the first game. And during its time on the market has seen many more updates, and the first game was eventually added. So if you buy Left 4 Dead 2 on PC, you get Left 4 Dead 1 scenarios and the characters. Insane value considering it's been on sale many times for like $5 or less. You know, was given away for Christmas at one point some years ago. I think that also crashed the store. So it's pretty incredible. I don't know if they ever added the original game to the Xbox version, but they should have. I don't see why not. I don't know if it's like a community thing or just a thank you PC players thing, but it's pretty awesome. So how is it more than a decade later? Just as good as it ever was. I felt the need to finally talk about and review this game considering it recently became my most played game on Steam. Sorry, New Vegas. It was a good run, bud. You guys can go and check out my review for that game as well. I would appreciate it very much. Just for me personally, I've always enjoyed the look of Valve games, their quality, their art styles. I've always enjoyed them. Some of the best visuals in gaming. They just have this amazing image quality about them. Left 4 Dead, Portal 2, Half-Life, Team Fortress, all of these games, in my opinion, still look great, and I refuse to accept that they don't. They've never really had like the most amazing texture quality or, certainly not the AAA techniques of today, but I don't feel they need to when you look at what you're getting, especially in the case of Left 4 Dead. Character models and the zombies themselves look fantastic, like genuinely good character models, and facial expressions on these guys is pretty awesome too. The amount of zombies that you can see on screen at one time while maintaining excellent performance still blows me away. There can be like 50 or more zombies on screen, a few of the special infected, blood effects, all the amazing attention to detail with the bullet damage and the gore, all while, say, a tank is coming at you. Very impressive stuff. And we're not just talking about half-ass kind of stuff here. Depending on where you shoot a zombie, their intestines or stomach may fall out. You may blow their rib cage open. It doesn't matter if you're experiencing this game on, the most current of current hardware or something from 4 or 5 years ago or even beyond that, because at this point, this game, as awesome as I still think it looks, runs on toasters, playing at 1080p, 1440, or even 4K while holding an excellent frame rate is something Valve should be praised for. Considering all the things that can be happening at once in this game, I just love stuff like that in video games, period. Left 4 Dead 2 still holds up in the visuals department.
Get out of the groove! Hey, watch
Reloading!
out!
Pipe bomb out. Shit! Tank!
Whether or not you can play and enjoy a lot of the Valve games depends on whether or not you can enjoy their gameplay. And I know you might be saying to yourself, well, that's the case for pretty much every game. And you'd be right, but I think many gamers of today probably can't get past not being able to aim down sights in games like these. And I think that's understandable, but it's not going to keep me from enjoying this masterpiece of a co-op experience. If I would have let something like that bother me in a big way, I would have missed out on coming up on 1,000 hours almost of awesome gaming. I just can't let something like, even if we're not talking about Left 4 Dead or Valve games, there's other games in the past that do not let you aim down sights. I didn't care about it in Half-Life or Portal, Team Fortress, what little I played of that. It just doesn't really bother me that much. And I think Left 4 Dead is more than a competent shooter aiming down sights or not. It's just a simple zombie shooter at the end of the day. The maps aren't really missions, as I would say they are scenarios. It's moving from one side of the map to the other before you and your team are killed, and those are divided up into sections. So you can face hordes of zombies, tons of zombies all at once, zombies just kind of standing around minding their own business, zombies standing around puking. Yeah, that's a thing. And then of course you have the special infected that can change the whole game and how you approach these scenarios. It's all randomly generated, so you'll never find a zombie in the same spot as the last time you played that section of that map. The same for the special infected, and they can appear at any given time, any moment, regardless of the map. The hunter stays low to the ground, but he can pounce on you from a distance. Boomers vomit on you, and that vomit will attract a horde or two of zombies, and then you're in a whole new world of hurt, especially if you're playing on advanced, expert, or realism. Higher difficulties bring new challenges, and the infected of all types do more damage per hit. Chargers do exactly what they sound like. They charge at you, and if they land it correctly, they begin doing this, what I can only describe as a choke slam until you've lost most, if not all, of your health. It's just like one steady choke slam after the other. He doesn't let go. It's pretty awesome to watch. Not so awesome if you're on the receiving end of that, obviously. Chargers also have another factor that makes them equally as challenging, equally as deadly. If they charge at you at certain points on the map, like say the top floor of a building or some nearby water, that's an instant death. If you catch that, if you're on the receiving end of that, you're dead for the remainder of that section, the remainder of that round. Your character is gone at that point. And I'm sure that that's still used today in the multiplayer for this game. It's been a while since I've played the multiplayer, but stuff like that, I don't miss. It can catch you off guard, but you know, if you're the one doing it, if you're the charger, if you're playing the multiplayer, it's awesome. It's just a great moment to knock someone off of a building, or maybe even a couple of somebody's off of a building. And there's strategies behind that. The smoker can be killed easily, but is great if you're trying to strategize in a multiplayer session. The right team using the right special infected can destroy you in this game. This is not a pick up and play, learn it in 1 or 2 nights type of game, especially if you're doing the multiplayer. It's just not that type of game. You're going to get destroyed. Even when it's just AI, all of these special infected can wipe a team out with ease. If you were just going through the game with common infected only, just the zombies, this would be one of the most basic zombie games ever made. The special infected make the game. They change how you play, and you know I can't forget the tank. The tank changes everything. You can think that this massive horde of zombies coming at you is your biggest problem, and then there's a smoker, and then suddenly a hunter, and then a spitter lurking, and then that tank music kicks in. Everything for you and your team just got a whole lot worse. There are ways to combat these situations, and I think that's what makes Left 4 Dead special. There are audio cues, and once you learn those, like once you hear the hunter, the smoker, the boomer, once you get familiar with these sounds, you start looking for them like, oh, this guy is somewhere in the area right now. We need to take him out before we do anything else, before we push forward, before we risk another horde or two coming at us all at once. You just, having a Molotov handy is great for taking the tank down more quickly. Having a pipe bomb to throw is great for getting those hordes of zombies off of you and flowing in a different direction. They give you the tools to succeed in the game, and I think those audio cues are huge. You just have to be willing to use them, learn them, and choosing the right time for some of those is key. If you're wasteful and careless, you'll pay for it because the enemies and the item placement, whether it's health or pipe bombs, whatever it is, a lot of that stuff is random. So just be prepared for that. I mentioned the multiplayer before, and it is a highlight of this game. This is not, again, it's not a pick up and play game. There is a learning curve, but I think if you're willing to learn it, if you're willing to dump a lot of hours in this game, because that's exactly what it's going to take. There's a lot to like here. I've never really been as good as I would like to be at the multiplayer. Some people have, 3,000 up to 5,000 hours or more in this game. And because of that, some of them have become snobby and toxic in how they want to play their multiplayer sessions. Some of them won't even play with you unless you have 200 to 500 hours in the game. If you just join a random multiplayer game and you're like, man, I really want to have some fun, I'm going to hop in. A lot of these people will check your profile immediately, and chances are you're likely to get kicked if you're super new or they're not willing to take a chance on you. You don't know someone that's, already in their party. Some people in this game, I don't even want to say the majority because I don't think that's the case, but some people in this game are not kind to you. I'll just tell you right now, they're just not kind. The level of trash talk in Left 4 Dead, and I'll admit I was a little bit surprised, is very high. I'll say that about this community in the multiplayer. The trash talk, people take their Left 4 Dead very seriously. Most of my time was spent playing the campaign modes with friends and randoms, but mostly my close PC friends over the years. It's challenging to play this game on higher difficulties and obviously, again, against other opponents in the multiplayer. It's very unforgiving, and, just some people, whether you're playing versus or the campaigns, they're not willing to give you the time that maybe some of you would need to learn the game. But there are some awesome people, some awesome people in the Left 4 Dead community, and those are the people, hopefully, that you'll link up with. There's a lot of strategy and communication involved. Don't even bother if you're not ready for that. If you're like one of those people, you play multiplayer games, I want to get the most kills, I want to get the most that, don't even bother, because this game is all about strategy. It's all about communication and playing with people that know exactly what they're doing. Even with the snobs and the diehards, I think you're still going to have a lot of fun. There are a few other modes if online multiplayer and co-op campaigns have never really been your thing, and all of them offer something different. I think total, coupling it with the first game, this has around 12 or 13 maps with tons of room for user-created maps and scenarios. Speaking of user-created content, the workshop or the mod scene for this game is crazy. It's insane. You can go directly to the workshop on Steam, and from there, some of the more popular ones are just a point and a click to install away, and it's that easy, and there's just so much stuff. Holy crap, there are a lot of mods for this game. I don't know if there's more than, say, you would find on the Nexus for Skyrim or anything. Maybe there's more, maybe there's less. I'm not trying to compare, but there's a ton of stuff for the game. And that's just the workshop alone. There's many Left 4 Dead communities out there doing their own thing and not putting stuff on the workshop. You can change character appearance. They have, say, Joel and Ellie from Last of Us, for example. Those character models look pretty good. They have Master Chief from Halo or Elizabeth from BioShock. I think there may even be Teletubby replacements if you're into weirdo shit like that. You can change the look of the common infected. You can change the look of the tank. You can change the look of the witch, as I forgot to mention them earlier, along with some of the more passive ability type of enemies like clowns. Just trust me on this. Stay away from the witch entirely. Just don't even bother anytime you see them. Unless you know exactly what you're doing, stay away from witches in this game and take out the damn clowns, those super annoying clowns, as quickly as you possibly can. There are weapon mods, and many of them don't just change the look of the weapon, but also change the sound, or we can stick with that. There are mods that do just strictly things with sound effects in this game, making for a better, more immersive experience, better particle effects, blood mods, better lighting mods. If you want to do it, you can probably change it in Left 4 Dead. I'm not even kidding when I say this. I may not build one as expensive or as nice as mine because, first of all, I wouldn't really need to, but Left 4 Dead has provided so much value in so many different ways over the years. I would probably, if I could go back now, I would probably say to myself, you're going to build a simple PC just to play this and enjoy all of these mods. I'm usually not one to buy or say go out and build a platform just to play one or two games, but that's how good I think Left 4 Dead is.
Kill all sons of bitches. That's my official instructions.
Hey, kill all sons of bitches, right?
There isn't much of a story to speak of in these Left 4 Dead games. Not in my opinion. This is a game, this is an experience that you pick up and play by yourself for an hour to just kill some time, have some fun, enjoy it with family or your friends. But from what I've gathered, and some of this may be inaccurate, an infection has taken over, obviously, and the survivors you play as, maybe, this is a big maybe, but they may be immune, and that goes for Left 4 Dead 1 characters as well as Left 4 Dead 2, so try and keep that in mind. A lot of what there is to understand can be found or figured out just by playing the game, enjoying that experience, and there's some cool Easter eggs, you know, one or two of them may have something to do with some other video games that you may or may not know. I don't want to spoil anything, even though this game is considered ancient at this point, but, you know, the voice acting is really good, surprisingly good, considering the genre and the type of game that this is. And these characters really grow to care about each other, and you see that as you play through each scenario. There are, of course, community favorites in terms of the characters, and there always will be when it comes to games like these that have multiple characters that you can play as. Mine will always be Zoe. Zoe is everything to me in Left 4 Dead, but I mean Zoe, Lewis, Bill, of course, Coach, and Rochelle, all my favorites. A little tidbit for this review, I believe the voice actress for Zoe has done Cortana for some of the Halo games, so I found that kind of interesting once I researched and figured all of that stuff out. I don't know what else I can say about Left 4 Dead. I feel like I've gushed about this game so much, so many times over the years that doing a review was the only thing left to do. I owed it to myself especially, a long time coming. I owed it to you guys, the Left 4 Dead community that for the most part has been one of the better communities to play games with in my time with this game. It's easily a top 10 or 20 game for me all time, and that's just for the time I've put into it alone. I have so many great memories from playing this over the years, and I don't think I'll ever retire this game. I usually keep it installed at all times because I get that Left 4 Dead itch. I want to play it 2 or 3 hours, have that Left 4 Dead fun, kill some time. It's arguably my favorite Valve game, but it would be hard to say it's better than Half-Life 2 in the episodes and vice versa. Two very different games that play two very different ways. I still love it after all this time, and I can't give Left 4 Dead 2 anything less than a 10. I would give this game a 10 if you like games like this, if you enjoy this genre. I would give this game a 10 just for the value alone. So chew on that. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. Truly appreciate it. And believe me, man, I get it. Everyone's dealing with a lot right now, but you know, to come here and watch this video, whether you watched it all the way through or you didn't, just to watch my video for 5 or 6 minutes, you know, it's like you guys could be doing so many other things and you're watching my content, you know, stuff that I've put quite a bit of effort into, and it's nice. It's really nice, and you guys just know that you're appreciated. So take care. Thank you again. Peace.